Hey y'all, hey y'all. Hey all, hey y'all. Thank you for joining this Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment transmission. My name is Ashley-Nicole Phillips. I am a channel for the divine, just like you. I channel energies and messages from my Akashic record or the oneness of all things in order to assist with the evolution and expansion of the human's consciousness as we are in the rapture. I'm actually the biblically prophesied Messiah. Full circle moment alert, alert, so are you. Why, Ashley? What have in me, you have in you. What you have in you, I have in me. We are dimensions and frequencies, authentic dimensions and frequencies of the oneness of all things, most rarely termed as the I Am, or God, or the Most High White Light Creator, or Shekinah. Within Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, again, I channel energies and messages to help us through this time of rapid spiritual awakening, rapid spiritual evolution of our consciousness. We're within Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment, but within my podcast, Kingdom Things Podcast with Ashley-Nicole Phillips, I channel energies and messages from the oneness of all things, the multiverse or infinite creation, prophecies, and many other wisdoms to assist us through this time of our genome activation, our consciousness expansion, which are synonymous, symbiotic. It is a synonymous symbiotic relationship, our consciousness expansion with our genome activation. We're flowing today. This is genome activation part 2. We did a genome activation consciousness expansion, oneness connection, energetic upliftment powwow session, which is linked below in the description. This is the part 2, as I'm being informed by the oneness of all things, you or myself, or God, or the universes. Demystifying energy, our darkness. Demystifying our darkness. No longer demonizing our darkness. As our darkness, our yin energy, is creator energy, truly. If we look out into our universes and we study black holes, and we want to know, our dark energy is synonymous with a black hole within our galactic creation, in the way that just as a black hole is infinite space dimensions of creation, our dark energy is the same. It is infinite possibilities. We're no longer demonizing our dark energy, because this is our creator energy power to grow and evolve. Our dark energy was demonized previously in our human nature and our human culture in order to keep us safe, in the way that we were preparing to wield our limitless potentials. We are now ready and activating into our infinite potentials. Our energy, or demonizing our dark energy, demonizing energy, any energy, is child's play. We're no longer children. We're grown-ass galactic beings. We're grown-ass gods and goddesses that are remembering our infinite potentials. Our yin energy, our yang energy, our creator energies. All energies are energy. They have zero meaning until we use our thought patterns to manifest, or use that energy to create. All energy is simply energy, has no meaning behind it until we use a thought pattern to utilize that energy to manifest or create. All energy is simply energy, has no meaning behind it until we use the thought pattern to manifest or create with the energy. Dark energy is neither good or bad. Light energy is neither good or bad. They are simply dimensions, contrasting elements of creation in order to create. In order for creation to create, there needs to be friction, there needs to be inertia, there needs to be movement. In order for friction, inertia, and movement to take place, there has to be contrasting, polarizing aspects. I channel within Kingdom Things Podcast. The divine never intended for polarizing aspects to be dualistic or fighting or warring dimensions, but polarizing aspects were truly intended to be harmonizing aspects. Just as a toroidal field, the poles of a toroidal field work in a harmonizing facet, in the way that the toroidal field pushes and pulls energy from each pole of the toroidal field. To what? To magnetize energies, or to create balance within energetic fields. So we already started channeling We have one card that came out. I was informed that this is perfectly fine. I use my spiritual gifts to channel, by the way. My soul gifts, spiritual gifts, extrasensory perception. I was informed by the universal forces or by the self that this card, this one oracle card is great. We're using Rumi Oracle, Pocket Edition, and Invitation to the Heart of the Divine, artwork by Razuli. We have this one card here. Star Mother Arrakis. Be the king who has made his own kingdom. Our Star Mother keeps an eye on all the wild games happening in the sacred playground of the earth, shining her divine justice and protection. No bully shall prevail over you. No bully from within you shall prevail either. You are the child so secure in the love of our mother that you can trust life and your ability to face whatever comes implicitly. Star Mother Arrakis. Be the king who's being guided to read it again. Star Mother Arrakis. Be the king who has made his own kingdom. Our Star Mother keeps an eye on all the wild games happening in the sacred playground of the earth, shining her divine justice and protection. No bully shall prevail over you. No bully from within you shall prevail either. You are the child so secure in the love of our mother that you can trust life and your ability to face whatever comes implicitly. Ashley is feeling any energies moving through her of human nature, not implicitly subjected to Ashley's nature, but human nature. A human nature that sought and fought for domination, dominion over people, places, and things. As this dominion kept a sense of security within your beingness that is no longer needed. As this security is false hope, false representation of creation, false sensationalization, that's the word. False sensationalization of creation. Your goal as a human being of planet Earth when you incarnated was to never be the tycoon of wealth, material wealth. That was not the apex goal, to have houses, money, cars, fame, success, to bolster your false sensationalization. It doesn't feel right, that word. It doesn't feel like I'm pronouncing it right. The false sensation. False sense. Ashley is meeting herself in new ways. This is the dimension of her that wants to dominate, that wants to pronounce words correctly. The pronunciation of the words isn't so grave with the understanding of what's taking place in creation. You understand. The viewer understands. Ashley understands the message that's being channeled through. Your genome is activating. You were dormant, you were dead, you were lifeless, roaming the planet with the false sensationalization of goods and material wealth and ego or characters or paradigms of limitation that restricted your ability to perceive that you were never created to be the king of the anthill, or the king of materialization, or the queen of the anthill, or the queen of materialization. You were all created to remember from within your God codes, your source codes, your creator essence, your limitless potentials, to be, embody the energies of your God codes, your source codes, your creator essence, to help co-create a reality that reflects your God codes, source codes, creator essence. Thank you, Ashley. I want to thank you all for joining this Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment Transmission, a Genome Activation, DNA Activation, Consciousness Expansion Transmission. My name is Ashley-Nicole Phillips. I am that I am, just as you are that I am. I exist, and I'm excited to be in this space in creation to assist with co-creating our existence. I'm even more excited to meet myself in new ways where I subconsciously, while I stood on a false sense of righteousness, where in my conscious mind, I am helping to evolve human nature into, remembrance of our infinite potentials. Which brings me to the Kingdom Things Podcast 2033 Prophecy. By the year 2033, we will be a human culture planet Earth with no disease, no death, no war, no famine, or peace, no poverty. As disease, death, war, famine, poverty were all manifestations of our gestational phase or the makings of us. The divine says we have now transcended out of the need to evolve with death, disease, war, famine, poverty, destitution, and we're being reactivated into our limitless potential or which is synonymous with our consciousness expansion, our DNA genome activation. What do we create as human beings of limitless potential? I stood on a false sense of righteousness where I felt like it was a subconscious and conscious feeling of superiority over my ancestral energies or the makings of me, because I've been in shadow work where I saw that I wanted to dominate, that I wanted to be rich and powerful and a celebrity and famous. I've been in because I misappropriated my communication. I misinterpreted and misappropriated my communication with the divine since I was a small child, because that's just how it is. We were birthed into these energies where God can only relate to us to the depths in which we relate to ourselves. So when I was getting visions when I was a child of who my husband would be, my career successes, all of the things, all I could do was relate these visions to human paradigms that created death, disease, war, famine, poverty, destitution. Did I consciously know that I was channeling my understanding of myself, of creation of God, through these limiting beliefs of human culture of death that created death, disease, war, famine, poverty, destitution? No. But it's part of the makings of me, or my ancestral energies, to grow and evolve myself into more by going inside, sitting on myself, asking myself, what do I need to know? So what do I need to know? But that's the whole thing. I was forced onto my spiritual awakening journey, which most of humanity was, is, and will be. Because that's just a part of the makings of us. We have been birthed out of energies that created death, the illusion of death. We embody these energies: death, disease, war, famine, poverty. We embody these energies, and we perceive these energies as ourself. I was standing on a false sense of righteousness where I was catalyzed onto my spiritual awakening journey by the divine, and I began my awakening process, which is cataloged within Kingdom Things Podcast. Much of my process in Kingdom Things Podcast and all of my content, truly, I shared in all of my content to be remembrance. It was God guided, intuitively guided for other people, as we all start awakening to understand that we're not doing this alone, and that this is a divinely orchestrated process that every human is going through in our own ways, in our own authentic ways. So I catalog my process of my awakening within Kingdom Things Podcast. We're within a mass spiritual awakening where everybody's awakening. Divine had me, the oneness of all things, God had me channel, my soul had me channel my process into Kingdom Things Podcast. Now I was standing on a false sense of righteousness, although I saw it inside of me. In order to speak these wisdoms, in order to garner these wisdoms, the chocolate divine wisdom from inside of me, I had to see the darkness. I had to shine light on the darkness, or become aware and take accountability of the energies within myself that assisted with creating death, disease, war, famine, poverty, destitution. So my ancestral energies are these energies. And the divine did tell me, Ashley, as you grow and evolve, or you elevate, never shun or put your nose up to energies in which you embodied in your past. Because the human being, which brings us to the human being's dharmic purpose, God said the human being was created to be a beautiful compassionate energy, an unconditionally loving energy. How do we practice compassion? By loving ourselves. How do we practice unconditional love and compassion? By loving every part of ourselves, even the energies that manifested death, disease, war, famine, poverty, destitution. Why? Because this is part of the makings of us. Seeing those energies, not forgetting about ourselves, not forgetting about our ancestral energies. Why? Because we're going to see them again. And when we see them again, we want to be able to embrace them and love them and ask them, hey, what are you here to teach me about today? How are you here to teach me about myself today? I want to thank y'all again for joining this Oneness Connection Energetic Upliftment Transmission. My name is Ashley-Nicole. I love you. Love on yourself. Self-love is the best love because you have to love yourself in the way in which you want your reality to love you back. Self-love is the best love because you are loving your truth. Choose to give that love to yourself first. Self-love is the best love because it helps you perceive yourself in more of your limitless nature, to relate with yourself in a more intimate way, limitless way, to relate with all things as you are all things in a more limitless and intimate way. I'll see y'all later. Bye.
My name is Asia, and I'm a teenage witch. Just kidding. I am a starseed. My story is much like humanity's story. I awakened to some pretty spectacular things about myself. Coming home, the story of Asia, followed by the story of Asia, I'm home. The book series that introduces the book. After returning from the day's trip, I have read my attempts letter. He speaks of my father releasing him from imprisonment and the fate of death. He pleads for us to run away together. This plea is one of which I need no state to decline. My other half, available in the Amazon bookstore. I feel as though I was born here on earth to find you. I was created to find my person. The Unconditional Love Literature Parcel, now available in the Amazon bookstore.